Hello and welcome to the 2024 Powerlifting America High School National Championships. I'm your host, Adriana Davis, and I am super excited to get started here on day 2 of these high school national championships. Today, day 2, session 1, we are going to have all varsity male 53, 59, and 66 kilo lifters. That's going to include both raw and the equipped division. And if you don't know, this meet is actually an official qualifier for both the IPF World Classic and Equipped Sub-Junior and Junior Championships in Malta, and also the NAPF North American Powerlifting Championships in Scottsdale, Arizona this August. This is just one of a couple of meets that's going to be a qualifier, but these lifters are going to be trying to post the highest total they can in order to get one of the coveted spots. We're going to bounce back and forth here between both platforms 1 and 2 and also between weight class divisions. So I will try my best to keep you updated as we move through the flight. Now we are going to have on both platforms a flight A first, and then after they complete all 3 of their attempts, flight B is going to start. So flight A will do all of their first attempts. We go back to the top of the order, all of their seconds, back to the top, all of their thirds. And that order is determined by the weight on the bar. So the weight is always going to be increasing within the rounds. And we are going to get started here. Bar is loaded on both platforms. On platform 2, Giovanni coming out to 25 kilos. On platform 1, Benjamin Clark going to come out to 110 kilos. Now on platform 1, let's see platform 2 first. Oh yeah, he buried that. Super easy. Through our lights. Now Benjamin Clark on platform 1 is in a bit of a battle here in the 53 kilo raw division. If you're following along on Lifting Cast, which I highly suggest you do, as it can be very informative, him and Cole Curtis are actually forecasted at the exact same total right now. Yep, that looks super easy for Benjamin. 3 white lights, and I'm his competitor, Cole Curtis, coming out right after him. This is really going to be an exciting battle where we see them go tit for tat in attempts. The pressure is on who's going to make the most attempts, who's going to build the highest total, and at the end of the day, I believe it's going to come down to the last deadlift. And it's really exciting to see, even at the high school level, these lifters could be in a bit of a battle. I mean, that's how much the sport is growing, whereas you do see those battles. Platform 2, George Cunningham, 120 kilos on the bar. Platform 1, Cole Curtis, 125 kilos on the bar. And it's kind of fun when you see these two competitors go back to back like this. You could kind of compare speeds of their attempts. Ooh, now on platform 1, Cole had to get the replace command. I believe his knees were not completely locked out. So your knees do have to be locked out at both the start and the end of the lift. Otherwise, you're not going to get that command from the referee that you're looking for. George hits that easily on 2. 2 to 1, that's a good lift. Oh, unfortunately on platform 1, that is going to be a no lift for Cole Curtis. And that does really shake things up, because when you're in one of these tough battles, I mean, obviously you're trying to gain the most kilos you can as possible. You're trying to build the highest total to force your competitor out of pocket. Now, that all changes when you end up missing your opener, especially when you're in a tight battle. The conversation really has to be had if you're going to repeat that opener, you're going to leave some of those kilos on the table, or if you're going to take the risk, go up, risk missing on strength, or risk missing on depth, or something of the sort. Platform 1, Carson Ramirez, 132.5, move easy for him. 3 white lights. Platform 2, Brandon Manthe in the 59 kilo equipped division, 125 kilos on the bar. Platform 1, Satoshi Rosenblum had an easy walkout with 135 kilos. Looked like he hit depth pretty easily. See what the judges say. 3 white lights, that's a good lift. And on platform 2, David Galeas, 125 kilos on the bar for him. He's in the equipped 59 kilo division. And on platform 1, Dylan Tran, 137.5 kilos. That is just over 300 pounds for his opening weight. Now on platform 2, if you're paying attention to the equipped division, it's a little bit different from the raw division, where equipped you're allowed knee wraps, as David demonstrates, and you are also allowed a squat suit. So these pieces of equipment, they let you lift more weight, and that is the purpose of the equipped division, but they're also very restrictive. So a lot of times you'll see these lifters go down very, very slowly, and they often have to do that because they're literally fighting against the tightness, the restrictiveness of the suit and the knee wraps. So they go down very slowly, try to find the depth, and then once they find the depth, they bounce up out of the hole, get that stretch reflex. And equipped lifting is also very, very technical. You've got to be very technically sound with the equipment. You've got to be, I mean, you cannot just throw on the equipment competition day having not been trained in it. On platform 1, Santo Sekul, 140 kilos for his opening weight. Oh. Unfortunately, that's going to be a no lift for Santo. Now, with your opening weight, you are going to want a weight that is very, very easy, a weight that you can do on any day of the week, regardless of travel, regardless of judging, regardless of circumstances. You're just going to want a lift that gets you on the board. You're not going to want to risk it with your opener, go way too heavy. And it's a bit worrying to see when you see someone fail in opener. It looked like he could have been shifted to the side, so maybe that was the reason. Hopefully he comes back and get that. Platform 1, Patrick Devine, 150 kilos on the bar for him. Currently nominated in 3rd place in the 59 kilo class. Move like an opener should. 3 white lights, good lift. Platform 2, Cade Kopinski, 145 kilos on the bar for him. Now in this flight A on platform 2, we are going to be staying in the 59 kilo equipped division. A little bit sticky out of the hole, but he fights through it. Not a big grind there. 3 white lights, that's a good lift for Cade. And on platform 1, we are going to have Michael Simmons in the 59 kilo class. Now, Michael, going in, could have been considered kind of the big favorite to win the class, but he's got a competitor based on the forecasted total not too far behind him. Currently, Michael Simmons is forecasted at a 455 kilo total in the lead. Justin Noller, who helped me commentate yesterday's session, nominated just 10 kilos behind, or forecasted just 10 kilos behind. It's really going to come down to making lifts. Oh yeah, and that was super easy for Michael. I expect him to take a big jump. 2-to-1, that's a good lift. Now, that's the thing with forecasted total. It tells part of the story, it gives a sneak peek, but it doesn't write the whole book, right? You've still got a lot of lifting go in the day. Some lifters are going to take super easy openers and then perhaps make big jumps. Other lifters, they could be opening too heavy, which kind of gives a little bit of a boost to that forecasted total that may not be reflected at the end of the day. Platform 2, Jesse Johnson, 167.5 move easy for him. 3 white lights, it's a good lift. And now, Michael's competitor in the 59 kilo class, Justin Noller, giving his props to the spotters before he gets set up with 167.5 kilos for his opening attempt. Another one of these battles where we could kind of see these lifters go directly after each other, and then that way we could compare their lifts. See how Justin handles this. Platform 2, Bryce Toops with 170 kilos on the bar. Moved smooth all the way through. 3 white lights, it's a good lift for Justin. Now, if you're comparing openers like we kind of said you could do, Michael's moved a little bit faster than Justin, so I'm interested to see where he goes from there. Bryce moves 170 kilos easy on platform 2 for his opening attempt. 3 white lights, that's a good lift. On platform 2, John Silvera going to come out to 172.5 kilos. These lifters are wearing somewhere around 130 pounds, and he's opening up with a squat of 380 pounds. John currently forecasted in second place in the 59 kilo class. Bit of a spread between him and first, but anything can happen on the day. Platform 1, Benjamin Clark in that 53 kilo battle. Moves 117.5 kilos with ease there. 3 red lights. And on platform 1, if you notice, Cole Curtis, who is the lifter in that tight battle in the 53 kilo class against Benjamin Clark, opted to go up by 10 kilos. It's a dicey proposition when you miss your opener. If you remember, he had to replace it and then miss the opener on a depth call. That's what the red card indicated, that he did not squat low enough. He opted to go up 10 kilos anyways, and it can really be dicey if you miss your opener on technique, go up, potentially miss it on strength. I'm interested to see how he handles this. And that's what I was talking about. It's very, very dicey when you go up in weight anyways. Now Cole really going to have his back against the wall on the third attempt. But first on platform 2, Jonathan Besseril, returning IPF Sub-Junior World Champion from last year, moving up from the 53 kilo class now in the 59 kilo class, moves over 400 pounds with ease. That was 187.5 kilos, 413 pounds. And I mean, he is forecasted ahead in the 59 kilo class. Now he's got to make his lifts. He can't slip up, otherwise other people could come at the door and take his title. But as long as he makes his lifts and execute, as I'm sure he will since he's been on that high level stage of the World Championships, he'll probably be looking at getting the 59 kilo national title. Ooh, on platform 1, that is very worrying for Santo Sikul. If you remember, he missed his opener at 140 kilos, opted to stay the same. I agree with that call, and then missed it again. Now, we've got 2 lifters who do not have a lift on the board. And what happens there is that all of these lifters, in order to post up a total, in order to post up a placing in the competition, you've got to hit at least 1 lift in each discipline. All right, on platform 1, on my end, we're having a bit of technical difficulties where I cannot see the screen. All right, platform 2, George stands up with 127.5. Trying to see what the lights were. I believe that was a good lift. Having a bit of technical issues here. Gonna get it sorted. All right, that was a good lift for George Cunningham, 2-1. And on platform 1, Satoshi just hit a good lift with 140 kilos. And on platform 2, David Galeas.
That was 147 to 150.
All right, we are back on platform 1. Patrick Devine getting set up with 160 kilos for his second attempt. Patrick Devine currently forecasted in 3rd place in the 59 kilo raw division. So he handles this 10 kilo jump and he handles it pretty well. Honestly, would probably go up another 10 kilos from there, maybe 7.5, 10 kilos. On platform 2, Reese Hamilton, 145 kilos for his second attempt. Reese handles that jump with ease. 3 white lights, good lift. On platform 1, Michael Simmons, the favorite in the 59 kilo class. Coming out to a 10 kilo jump with 172.5. Now, if you remember his opener, it moved very, very easy. I expect this to go. And if you're wondering, his competitor, Justin Noller, also went up 10 kilos, but Justin's looked a little bit stickier than Michael. Let's see how Michael handles this. Moved easy. I'm gonna wait to see what the judges say on the depth. Looked a little borderline. There we go. 2 to 1. That's a good lift for Michael. Cade Koplinski stands up easily with 150 kilos on platform 2. 3 red lights. That's a good lift. And on platform 1, Justin Noller getting set up with 177.5 kilos. His opener was a bit sticky, opted to jump up to 10 kilos anyways. I'm going to be proven wrong. I'm going to see how he handles this. Jesse Johnson on platform 2 getting set up with 177.5 kilos in the equipped 59 kilo division. Unfortunately for Justin, that's going to be a no lift. And that's honestly the sort of thing that can happen when you're in these battles, you're chasing numbers, trying to catch up to the guy who is on top. You could end up getting out of pocket there. Hopefully Justin can come back and hit that on his 3rd attempt, because otherwise he's really leaving a lot of kilos on the table there. On platform 2, that was a good lift for Jesse Johnson. And interestingly enough, I don't want to enact the commentator's curse, but interestingly enough, typically equipped lifting is the division where you're going to see a lot more missed lifts, just because depth is hard to hit. There's a lot of technical issues, but kind of the opposite we're seeing here so far, where platform 2, I don't want to curse it, but has not missed a single lift, whereas platform 1 is having some interesting misses. Now, Benjamin Clark, 125 kilos on the bar. This should go. His second attempt moved pretty easy. He is in that 53 kilo battle. Needs every kilo he's going to get. Bryce Tubes, platform 2, 177.5 kilos. Oh yeah, Bryce stood up with that very easily. And 3 white lights on platform 1, 2 white lights on platform 2. On platform 1, excuse me, Benjamin Clark, I think that was the perfect call for him. I mean, 2.5 kilos may have gone, but I really think that was a good call from the coaching staff, especially when they're seeing that his direct competitor, Cole Curtis, missed both his 2 squats. You don't want to overreach, especially when your competitor is missing. You want to make lifts, execute, kind of show that, hey, I'm the one leading the way. Let's see if Cole can take that back by getting his lift with 135 kilos. Otherwise, he risks bombing out of the meet. Oh, can he fight through with it? What are the judges going to say on the depth? 2-1. Unfortunately, that's a no lift. I would go straight to the jury on that. I mean, he did get one white light, so you can go to the jury and contest that for your lifter. And that's what you're supposed to do as a handler. You're supposed to be an advocate for your lifter. And especially since Cole is in one of these tight battles where, I mean, that's everything. That's potentially a national championship right there, or bombing out of the meet. I'm not sure if they went to the jury, but as of right now, Cole Curtis has unfortunately bombed out of the competition, is not going to be able to register a total. On platform 2, I missed it, but John Silvera hit a big squat with 185 kilos. And now Jonathan Besseril looking to bump that up to 200 kilos. Oh, and on platform 1, Santo actually stood up with 140 kilos. But unfortunately, that's going to be another bomb out. Emotions are high here, as they should be. I mean, these lifters prepare for these competitions for such a long time, and it's really, really heartbreaking when something like that happens. Platform 2, Jonathan, the sub-junior world champion, stands up with 200 kilos, and it's a good lift, 2-1. But yeah, back to platform 2, we just saw 2 bomb outs there, and it's very, very heartbreaking to see. I mean, those 2 lifters can still lift in the rest of the competition, and I would highly suggest they do so. They're just not going to be able to post up a total, but they can still come out and bench. They can still deadlift. Especially when you start off your day on not so high of a note, it can be really, really, I mean, it can boost the morale to end the day on a positive note. You can still get that national level experience on your bench and deadlift attempts, and I hope both of those lifters do so. Platform 1, Satoshi with 147.5 kilos. Wow, looked very easy for him for a 3rd attempt. 3 white lights, that's a good lift.
You have contact to Mike. You know what I'm talking about, Mike?
Nah, I don't have contact.
Okay.
He's somewhere around here.
Yeah, okay.
Platform 2, George Cunningham stands up with 130 kilos. 3 white lights to go, 3 for 3 in the squad event. Good job there. Dylan Tran trying to go 2 for 3. Missed his 2nd attempt, opted to go up anyways by 2.5 kilos. He missed his 2nd attempt on depth. And depth looked better there, but he ran into that wall just out of the hole. Again, that's the dicey proposition. When you miss a lift and go up anyways, it can work out for you in some circumstances, but in others, like that one, it doesn't work out, and you leave those kilos on the table. But he's still on the board. He didn't bomb out. Still got his opener and can move forward with the competition. David Galeas on platform 2, 137.5 kilos on the bar for him. Going down very, very slow descent, trying to find that depth. Ooh, good fight there out of the hole. Two to one, it's a good lift. Platform 1, Patrick Devine, 170 kilos on the bar for him. Took those even 10-kilo jumps, see how he handles this last one. Ooh, depth look, no question there. That's really a great squat from Patrick. 3 white lights, it's a good lift, and he is super excited with that. I'm super happy with that, as I would be too. I mean, it feels really great when you go 3 for 3, you get all that you can on the day, you build that positive momentum leading into bench. Platform 2, Brandon Manthe, 140 kilos on the bar for him. And on platform 1, Justin Noller, based on forecasted total, he was getting close to Michael Simmons, but again, forecasted does not tell the whole story. He missed his second attempt squat, looked like a strength issue, opted to go up anyways. Perhaps it was some sort of technical error. Interested to see how he handles this. Platform 2, Brandon, unfortunately, that was going to be no lift for him. Come on, Justin. It's just going to be too much, and unfortunately, Justin Noller walks away with just his opening squat. Not going to risk bombing out, still could be in that podium position at the end of the day, but from now on, throughout the rest of the day, I would really focus on potentially lowering an opener, making your lifts so that you can build the highest total you can, even if you did not have the best squat event that you could. Reese Hamilton, platform 2, 152.5 kilos on the bar for him. And on platform 1, Michael Simmons. Now with Justin missing his last 2 squats, Michael kind of seems like the runaway favorite here now, as long as Michael does not slip up the rest of the day, as long as he keeps making his lifts. And now he bumped up to 180 kilos. Platform 2, Reese Hamilton honestly smokes his third attempt with 152.5. Wow. Really good squat from Michael. Wait to see what the judges say. 2 to 1, it's a good lift. Yeah, he's super excited for that. I mean, that's a great way to start your day, especially when you see your competitors missing lifts, whereas you are making lifts. Yeah, he could be looking at picking up that national championship here. Platform 2, Cade Kopinski, looking to go 3 for 3. Big jump here. Interesting enough, he jumped 5 kilos to his second attempt and then 15 kilos to 165. Typically, you're going to see the opposite, where you see a bigger jump than a smaller jump, but let's see how he handles this. Wow, okay. Seemed like a good call from the coaching staff. Through right lights, it's a good lift. Platform 1, Frank Garcia buries his opener with 120 kilos. On platform 1, we have rolled straight into flight B of lifting. So now on platform 1, we are back to openers for flight B. Platform 2, Jesse Johnson, 185 kilos, crossing over that 400-pound barrier. This is about 407 pounds. Currently forecasted in 5th place. Potentially could catch up to 4th place if Cade starts to slip up. That's the thing with forecasted totals. You can see the story that it's building through the day, but all you can do in the competition is focus on yourself, make your lifts, try to build the best total possible to put yourself in the best position possible. Depth look good. Depth look good on platform 1 as well with Daniel Hale. Through right lights on 2, through right lights on 1. Daniel Hale starting us off in flight B. Bryce Topes on platform 2, another jump where he took a smaller jump from the first to second, opted to take a larger 12.5 kilo jump to his third with 190 kilos. Currently forecasted in 3rd place, but that could really change because that forecasted total does take into account this extra 12.5 kilos that he's got on the bar. So if he misses this, that could really shake things up and really open the door for other lifters to end up on the podium taking his bronze medal at the end of the day. Platform 1, Joseph Flora, 142.5 for his opening attempt. We are in the raw 66 kilo division. Through right lights, that's a good lift on 1. And 3 white lights, that is really a pivotal 3rd attempt for Bryce Topes. Trying to tell the other competitors, hey, you're not gonna get my bronze medal. I'm gonna push this so far that it's not gonna happen. Platform 2, John Silvera, 192.5 kilos on the bar. Currently forecasted in second place in the 59 kilo equipped division. And he's got a bit of a spread between him and Jonathan, and behind him, a spread between him and Bryce. So as long as, things can shake up throughout the day. If he makes his lifts, he should be looking at a podium position. Oh yeah, moved fairly well. Wait to see what the judges say on the depth. Should be good. 2-1, that's a good lift. Platform 1, Brock Harvey, getting set up with 145 kilos. Brock is in the 53 kilo equipped division and really forecasted ahead. As long as he makes his lifts, he should be locking up that championship win. Oh, 2-1, that's a no lift for Brock. And honestly, I would just repeat that given that he is forecasted ahead. I wouldn't take any risk there by going up. And on platform 2, Jonathan Bessaril, our returning sub-junior world champion, moving up a weight class, trying to make his statement. 207.5 kilos on the bar for his final attempt. That looks good there. Oh, hits the sticking point, but it's not going to go. So unfortunately, Jonathan does go 2 for 3. I don't think that shakes up the standings too much. I believe Jonathan is still going to be the big favorite to take away the title. But he can't slip up the rest of the day. Isaac Sandoval, platform 1, 145 kilos on the bar for his opening weight. We're well at, it's a good lift. Platform 2, Thomas Weigel, 150 kilos on the bar. Platform 1, Matthew Twist, 162.5 kilos on the bar. Three red lights on platform 1 for Matthew. Easy attempt there on 2 for Thomas. And it's a good lift. Platform 1, Tyler DeHoff, 162.5 on the bar. Tyler is currently slotted in 3rd place based on forecasted total, but it's kind of stacked here. I mean, we've got a runaway favorite coming up soon in Daniel Harris, but between Tyler, Esteban, Matthew, it's going to be tight fighting to get on the podium. Oh, and unfortunately, Tyler did have to replace the bar. And that just means that the referees did not want to give him that squat command. They saw something was off. And to me, I thought his knees were a bit soft. Platform 2, we're rolling into Flight B with Gavin Patin. 150 kilos, moves easily for him. 3 red lights on both platforms. On platform 1, that replace command did not throw off Tyler that much, thankfully so. And that's the thing with the national level stage. I mean, you are subject to that judging from these national level and higher referees that you may not be used to at the local level. And so, yes, you could take all your gym numbers from training, just add them up, but it's a completely different story once you step foot on the platform. Platform 2, Dave DiMatteo, the 3rd, getting set up with 160 kilos. We are in the 66 kilo equipped division, and on platform 1 in the 66 kilo raw division, Esteban Mallory, 165 kilos. Another one of our lifters in the hunt for the podium. 3 red lights on 2, 3 red lights on 1. Platform 1, Eldris Peabody, 170 kilos in the bar for him. Oh yeah, moved super well on 1 for Eldridge. Platform 2, Samuel Richardson, 175 kilos on the bar. Oh, bit of a fight there on 2 for his opening attempt. 3 white lights, it's a good lift regardless. But I honestly imagine him taking smaller jumps. I'd be more confident in that if it was a raw lifter, but with equipped, you kind of never know with the suit giving you the extra bit of help. And on platform 1, we've got a sub-junior superstar, Daniel Harris, returning IPF sub-junior world champion in the 66 kilo class. This is a huge squat. Daniel's own sub-junior world record currently sits at 230.5 kilos, and he's opening up with 225. Let's see how he handles this. Oh yeah, handles it with ease. Clearly he's made progress in the offseason. 2 to 1, it's a good lift for Daniel. Excited to see where he ends up at the end of the day. Platform 2, Jonah Garcia, 185 kilos on the bar for his opening attempt. Oh man, and on platform 2, unfortunately, Jonah stands up with the weight, but takes a little bit of a step backward. And if you take a step, lose your balance in between the commands, so in between the squat and the rack command, that unfortunately is gonna end up being a no lift. And that's just because we want to show that the lifters have complete control over the weight. We want to set a standard across the board for all of these lifters to follow. Platform 1, Frank Garcia, we are already back to the top of the flight. He's going to take a 10 kilo jump to 130 kilos. Platform 2, Nathan Lovemore, 200 kilos for his opening attempt. He weighed in exactly at 66 kilos. No, hey, no chip? No chip? I mean, you don't need it.
What about chip? Oh, it's like 9.5 kilos above.
I didn't know if you were taking like 240.5 or something.
No, it's
you don't need it.
That's 9.5 over the record.
Yeah. Okay.
Thanks for doing the live stream. I know this shit's a lot of work.
Yeah, I'm tired, but I like it. I enjoy it. And on platform 1, sorry for the slight break, Daniel Hale jumping 10 kilos to 135 kilos. Daniel's in the 53 kilo equipped division. Daniel, see how he moves this. Oh, wow, Barry's, unfortunately he falls backwards. Really good catch from the spotters there. Thankfully, he's got his opener. He's not gonna risk bombing out, whereas his direct competitor, Brock Harvey, could be risking bombing out if he doesn't make this attempt. On platform 2, Angel Flores, 207.5 kilos, moves super easy for his opening attempt. Oh, it moves super easy, but unfortunately that's gonna be a no lift due to not squatting deep enough. I'll be interested to see where he goes from there, because sometimes you do see more often from equipped lifters, they increase the weight anyways after missing on depth, because sometimes I've heard coaches say that the extra bit of weight does actually help them get lower, especially because the suit and the wraps are so restrictive that it is very hard to hit that depth. So it's kind of risky to go up, but sometimes it's what these lifters need. Platform 1, Brock Harvey, forecasted ahead, but needs this lift to stay in the competition and stay ahead of Daniel Hale. Now he stood up with it. I'm waiting to see what the judges say. Unfortunately, my gut was right. That is going to be a no lift on depth for Brock. And that really, really puts him in a tough situation here. I mean, he was forecasted well ahead in the 53 kilo class, but if he ends up bombing out, then Daniel Hale is going to be the one to take that national title. Interesting stuff going on here. And it is just session 1 of the day. Platform 1, Joseph Flora in the raw 66 kilo division, taking a 10 kilo jump to 152.5. Platform 2, Joshua Thompson, getting set up with 215 kilos. Oh, a little bit of work on platform 1 from Joseph, but he fights all the way through. That's a good lift. Joshua Thompson opening up with 474 pounds here. Moves it fairly well, too. He currently, based on looking at the forecasted total, currently forecasted in 5th, but I think if he continues to make his lifts throughout the day, and perhaps if other lifters continue to perhaps miss, or if Joshua ends up taking bigger jumps, he could be looking at the podium position. And on platform 1, Isaac Sandoval taking a 12.5 kilo jump to 157.5. And on platform 2, Rayshon Manuel, 217.5 kilos to the 1. That's a good lift. Big opening attempt. Little sticky out of the hole, but I mean, it was smooth all the way through. Currently forecasted in 2nd in the 66 kilo equipped division. And on platform 1, that was a good lift for Isaac Sandoval. Matthew Twist is going to come out next to 170 kilos. Matthew Twist buries 170 kilos. 3 white lights, good lift for him. Platform 2, Gavin Patton, 160 kilos on the bar for him. Gavin has to put in a bit of work, but he stands up with the weight. That's a good lift for Gavin. Platform 1, Tyler DeHoff, 172.5 kilos. This is one of those lifters kind of in the hunt to fight for the podium positioning in the 66 kilo raw division. Wow, and that moved really well for him. Honestly, I could see him taking potentially another 10 kilo jump, but maybe just 7.5 to play it safe. I mean, when you're in these tight battles, making your lifts, I sound like a broken record, but making your lifts is going to be ever the more important to add those valuable kilos to your total. That means you have to deadlift less at the end of the day to try to pull for positioning. It really matters whether you jump 10 or 7.5. You want to get the most out of your lifter as possible, but you don't want to tip over where you're leaving all those kilos on the table. Platform 2, Thomas Weigel, taking a relatively big jump, 17.5 kilos to 167.5. Looks a bit shaky, but I think that is a bit more common to see from these equipped lifters.
Yeah, we're good. We're good. Other than I hit the rack on the walkout.
Platform 1, Esteban Mallory, stands up with 180 kilos. Slows down, but not too much. 3 white lights for him. Thomas on platform 2 unfortunately had to re-rack the weight due to his knees being soft. Trying to, and I mean, he had a shaky walkout too on his first, so hopefully he can get this. I think he might have, yeah, I think he ended up timing out. And that's kind of the problem when, I mean, you want your lifters to take the time that they need to set up, but you don't want them to take too much time. Otherwise, you can run into a situation like that where you're having to replace the bar, and once you try to walk it out again, then you run out of time. It really puts you in a sticky situation because you don't expect that to happen on your second attempt. Platform 1, Eldridge, Peabody, 182.5. Wow, that moved really easy. That is 402 pounds for him. Awesome. Whew, and here we go. Platform 1, Daniel Harris taking a 15-kilo jump to 240 kilos. This is a huge squat for the returning national and world champion in the sub-junior 66-kilo class. This is 9.5 kilos over his own world record, which currently sits at 230.5 kilos. This is an insane squat. He is really looking to make his campaign to return to the World Championships in Malta this summer. Let's see how he handles this extra 15 kilos. Moves fairly well. Wait to see what the judges say. He is always a bit borderline. Oh, unfortunately, that's going to be a no lift for Daniel, taking away his unofficial squat world record. He got a blue card. I believe that was for soft knees. And then a red card for depth on the side. I imagine they're going to repeat that, but I can keep you updated on that. I mean, it moved well, but I wouldn't put too much more on that. And I mean, he is well ahead in the lead. I would probably just repeat it to pick up that national record as well as unofficial world record. And Dave DiMatteo on platform 2 to the 1. That's a good lift, 175 kilos for his second attempt. Moved fairly well for him. Platform 1, Daniel Hale missed his second attempt. If I remember correctly, he kind of started to fall backwards. Daniel Hale is in that 53-kilo division, and Brock Harvey is risking bomb out. So if Daniel makes all his lifts, oh wow, that was a really good squat for Daniel. Way to come back from such a hard missed second attempt. I mean, he started to fall backwards, and that wasn't too easy for him. That was really good for Daniel to be able to compose yourself, come back, get those extra 10 kilos on the bar. Platform 2, unfortunately, Samuel did miss his second attempt with 182.5. Jonah Garcia going to come out on platform 2, repeating 185 kilos. I don't exactly remember what happened, but he did get all yellow cards, which probably indicates that it was a failure on strength or maybe jumping a command. Platform 1, Frank Garcia, taking a 7.5-kilo jump to 137.5 kilos, a big 300-pound milestone. Oh, wow. Oh, and I thought he was going to be able to fight through it. I think he could have stood up with it, but he just lost his balance a little bit. Still walks away 2 for 3. Jonah Garcia, all eyes on him as he tries to get on the board here with his second attempt. Yeah, and it's tough out of the hole, but he fights through it. See what the judges say. 3 white lights, he's on the board. A big sigh of relief there for him. And now Brock Harvey really has his back against the wall on platform 1. I mean, he is forecasted well ahead in the 53-kilo class, but he needs at least 1 lift in each discipline to pick up that national title. Really needs this, otherwise he's not going to be able to post a total. It's really a shame when you see lifters forecasted well ahead. Open a little bit too heavy. Let's see if he can get this. Oh, wow, it looked better. I thought it looked better. Let's see what the judges say. 3 white lights for Brock Harvey. Avoids disaster. Still in the hunt to pick up that national title in the 53 kilo equipped class. And on platform 2, Angel Flores, looking to take inspiration, get on the board, missed his opening attempt, opted to go up anyways. I believe he missed his opening attempt on depth. Yep, and that looked better there. 3 white lights, good lift for Angel. Way to stay in the meet. If I remember correctly, yeah, he did miss on depth, and I kind of talked about how some equipped coaches opt for going up anyways after a missed attempt on depth. I wouldn't suggest it in the raw division, but sometimes in the equipped, they say that the extra weight can actually help them get down in that restrictive squat suit. Platform 1, Joseph Flora, 157.5 kilos on the bar. Unfortunately, that's going to be a no lift. He did only jump 5 kilos, so maybe he had 2.5. Not really leaving too much on the table there. And he didn't waste too much energy. Platform 2, Breck Falco, 220 kilos, getting dangerously close to 500 pounds. And this is not even the heaviest squat, and it moved fairly easy. It moved easy, but that is going to be 2-1 no lift for Brett. Hopefully he can come back and hit that. Just has to squat a little bit lower. He's done some big squats on platform 2. But first on platform 1, Isaac Sandoval, 165 kilos on the bar for his 3rd and final attempt. Trying to go 3 for 3 here in the squats. Oh, wow. Big fight there. Man, he was able to fight through it. I thought he was going to be able to lock it out. Again, just had a little bit of a misstep. Still walks away 2 for 3. Platform 2, big squat here from Rayshon Manuel. 225 kilos. 496 pounds for his 2nd attempt. Let's see how he handles it. Oh, no. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if the bar went down, but I don't think he was going to be able to fight through that anyways. He's not risking bombing out. He's still got his opener on the board. Probably going to try to retake that on his 3rd attempt. Platform 1, Tyler DeHoff, 180 kilos on the bar for him. Tyler in the hunt for a podium position in the class. And you know what? I remember Tyler's 2nd attempt moves fairly easily, so I wouldn't have been mad with that jump, 7.5 kilos, but sometimes some lifters, it just kind of depends on their ability to grind out lifts. Some lifters, they're just going to hit the wall a lot faster, and that's kind of the usefulness of, as a handler, you really have to know how your lifter lifts. Platform 2, Nathan Lovemore, forecasted in 1st in the class, trying to keep that lead with a 227.5 kilo squat. He made a big jump there, 200 kilos to 227.5, and he handled it fairly well. I mean, if you told me he jumped 27.5 kilos, I don't know if I would have believed you. That was a great squat from Nathan. Esteban Mallory, platform 1, 185 kilos on the bar. See if he's able to fight through it. Really good call there from the coaching staff. Esteban, 3 white lights, currently forecasted in 2nd place, but there's lifters right behind him. I mean, Matthew Twist being one of them. Tyler DeHoff, gonna have to make his lifts to end up in potentially a 2nd place position. Joshua Thompson on platform 2, 230 kilos on the bar, in the hunt for a top 5 position. It's a big squat, 507 pounds. Handled it fairly well. 3 white lights, platform 1, Matthew Twist. Took a big 17.5 kilo jump. Is he gonna be able to fight through it? And it's really dicey for him to take that big jump, but he handles it well. 3 white lights, good lift for Matthew, and those extra 17.5 kilos, really pivotal for him in the battle for a podium position in the 66 kilo class. Platform 1, Eldridge Peabody, 197.5. Another relatively big jump, 15 kilos. Wow, buries it and then hits that sticking point, but keeps fighting through. 3 red lights. Great squat for Eldridge. 3 for 3. Thomas Weigel, wow! I almost thought he was going to lose his balance and fall backward, but he fights through that. 167.5 for him. And now on platform 1 to finish off this exciting squat event, Daniel Harris, returning sub-junior world champion, 242.5 kilos on the bar, missed his second attempt. He got a blue card and a red card, so he clearly had the strength for it, but his squats are a little borderline, got that depth call, and also he's got to make sure to lock his knees. Hopefully he can get this. I mean, this is a huge squat for him. This would add 12 kilos unofficially to his current sub-junior squat world record, which sits at 230.5 kilos. Really hoping he can come back and get this. Depth look better. Wow, and it's a big fight for Daniel. Wow, I don't think he had another 2.5 kilos. See what they say? Ah, 2-1, that's a no lift. Are you going to the jury? Jury? You could go to the jury. Now, Daniel missed that squat. Unfortunately, he got a 2-1 no lift. I believe that was on depth that he missed it on. Let me make sure to check my facts here. Yeah, unfortunately, that was a no lift on depth. I wonder if they are going to approach the jury on that. We'll keep you updated when we lead into bench. But on platform 1, that is going to be it for our squat event. Really exciting squats. I mean, we see some battles begin to unfold. We see unofficial world record attempts. Don't go anywhere. The action is going to get started in the bench press in just 10 short minutes. We'll see you then. Welcome back to the 2024 Powerlifting America High School Nationals on Platform 1 here in beautiful New Orleans, Louisiana. We're going to get started in just a minute, leading into the next discipline, which is going to be the bench press. As a reminder, this meet is going to be one of a few official qualifiers for the IPF World Classic and Equipped Sub-Junior and Junior National World Championships and the NAPF North American Championships. These lifters are, especially the ones forecasted towards the top of their class, they're going to be trying to put up the best total they can in order to make a campaign to get on one of those national teams. In this session 1 of day 2 of high school nationals, we're going to have all varsity male 53, 59, and 66 kilo lifters. That is going to include both raw and equipped lifters. Benjamin Clark is going to be our first lifter. He is in the 53 kilo raw division, opening up with 60 kilos. And Benjamin, as long as he makes a lift in each discipline, he's going to walk away your national champion, because unfortunately his direct competitor, which would have been a really close battle, Cole Curtis, unfortunately he was not able to register a squat and bombed out. Oh, unfortunately that is no lift on platform 1 for Benjamin. Now he got a red card and a yellow card. So the yellow card could have been a multitude of different things. That could have been jumping a command. That could have been lifting his head or his foot or his butt off the bench. And then the red card is actually an interesting call. That could have been either for bench depth or elbow depth, which was introduced just a couple years ago. Or it could have been hovering the bar, so not actually touching the bar to your chest. So interesting to see what he does there. I'd probably just repeat it. I mean, like I said, as long as he makes a lift in each discipline, he's going to walk away your champion. Cole Curtis is next, who was going to be Benjamin's competitor, unfortunately bombed out on squats. Really glad he's continuing to meet here. Opening up with 65 kilos. Bit slow off the chest, but he fights through it with relative ease. 65 kilos is a good lift for Cole Curtis. Carson Ramirez, 65 kilos for his opening attempt. And I am joined in the booth by the one, the only Tannen, who is taking photos, taking really good pictures for media. Watch out for him if you're here. He's going to be everywhere, especially on platform 2. How you doing? How's it out there? How's the carpet? How's the lifting? What's going on?
Well, the carpet's getting a little scratchy. Everything else is pretty good, though. I feel like I've stepped in front of the camera about 7 times now. So
yeah,
the stream has definitely seen me.
I've tried to take a picture every time you've jumped in the stream. A little bit of cameo there, working under PSB Productions.
I bet my shoes have made quite the appearance.
And on platform 1 still, Dylan Tran opening up with 70 kilos. I mean, how has it been from your perspective? You're not back here looking at the scorecard, but you're still able to watch these high school kids give their heart on the platform, put up really phenomenal lifts. I mean, we've seen some great grinders. We've seen some unofficial world record attempts. How's it been on your end?
Honestly,
especially capturing it.
It's making me a little insecure. Some of these kids are impressive.
I definitely relate to that. All right, Tannen's going to dip, going to continue doing his actual job of taking pictures. But I'm going to be here all day. Satoshi Rosenblum opening up with 75 kilos. We are in the 59 kilo raw division. Moved well. And like I said before, these openers, we're not expecting big fireworks, or we're hopefully not. Sometimes it makes it a bit more exciting when you see a miss opener. But these openers are just for these lifters to get on the board. They should be relatively easy. you shouldn't be risking anything with your opener. Some lifters, especially those in high school, they could get a bit greedy, wanting to open a little heavy so that they end up at a higher place. But I mean, a lot of these lifters, this is likely their first time on the national level stage, and you've just got to execute. I mean, it's a totally different environment from local level meets where you've got national level judges. You likely traveled to go to this meet. Oh, and I enacted the curse where Santos Secule unfortunately missed his opener. Now, Santo not having the best day so far. In the squats, he actually ended up bombing out, missing 140 kilos 3 times. The first 2 times were on strength or some sort of balance issue. The third time he actually did stand up with the weight, but I believe got a depth call. So yeah, not having the best day. Hopefully he can come back and hit that opener on his second attempt. I really like that he's still coming out here, still going to bench and presumably deadlift. I mean, you flew all the way out here, you paid for registration, and it also gives your coach some good data. I mean, you don't only peak and train for squats, you train for bench and deadlift as well. So hopefully he comes back and hits that. But Patrick Devine first, 85 kilos for his opening attempt. Looks solid for an opener. 3 red lights. And if you're following along, listening to those commands, the commands in bench press are going to be start, press, and rack. So you've got to wait for the start command, and at your chest, actually. So during the actual lift, you have to have the bar motionless before you get the press command from the chief referee. We're not going to have any touch and go benches, or you've got to make sure you have that solid motionless pause at the chest before coming back up. And that's why you might see a variety of lengths or durations with the press command. Some lifters may have a bit of trouble getting completely still on their chest. But Justin Noller first, 87.5 kilos for his opening attempt. Oh no. And unfortunately, I think, like I was talking about the press command, I think he did end up jumping it, and then he tried to come back down. Unfortunately, that's a no lift for Justin. I would definitely just repeat that on his second attempt. I mean, currently he's forecasted in second place in the class, so I wouldn't be risking anything by going up. He already didn't have the best squat event, only walking away with his opener. So hopefully he can come back, hit it on his second. And Michael Simmons, well ahead in the 59 kilo class. Wait to see what the judges say. Again, I'm not sure if he started to jump that press command. Yeah, unfortunately he gets all 3 color cards from the referees. And I believe that was for the jumped press command. I could say the blue card was probably for up and down motion from slightly jumping it and then coming back down. And the yellow card was probably for jumping that command. So again, I mean, he's well ahead in the class. I wouldn't risk anything. I would just repeat that, get on the board. Don't throw away a national title just so you could chase higher numbers, especially if you're forecasted ahead in the class. Yep, and he's going to repeat that, as well as Justin Noller is going to repeat his bench. Benjamin Clark is one who is not going to repeat his missed attempt at 60 kilos. Now, his clearly no problem on strength. I don't exactly remember what happened, but he has opted to jump up 5 kilos anyways. See how he handles this. Oh, and it was hard. It wasn't an all-out grinder, but it was a bit difficult, and that's kind of the dicey proposition when you jump up and wait after a missed attempt. But he's on the board. Like I said, since Cole Curtis, our next lifter up, since Cole ended up bombing out, Benjamin is going to end up your champion as long as he hits a lift in each discipline. And he's done that in the bench. Even if he misses his third bench, as long as he gets a deadlift, he's going to walk away the champion. But Cole Curtis, jumping up just the minimum 2.5 kilos to 67.5. And on platform 2, welcome back to the 2024 Powerlifting America High School National Championships. We have already gotten started. Excuse me, I missed one lift from Giovanni Macanelli. Hit his opener with 55 kilos, but now we are going to move straight into the bench press action here on platform 2. We've already finished openers for flight A on platform 1, moving into second attempts. On platform 2, Brandon Manthe, 65 kilos for his opening attempt. Dylan Tran on platform 1 has that beautiful soft touch, getting that quick press command. 72.5 kilos is easy work for him. 3 white lights. Platform 2, Brandon Manthe, 65 kilos. Also nice work. 3 white lights. Platform 1, Carson Ramirez coming down with, I think he actually ended up hitting the rack there, so he tried to kind of have a little bit of a second attempt. Oh, okay, 2 to 1, it's a good lift. Yeah, that was a bit of a interesting call there. So I believe he actually hit the rack when he started his descent and then kind of started over. But he gets the lift, he's on the board, no worries. Or he was already on the board, that was his second attempt. Platform 2, George Cunningham in the 59 kilo equipped division, 72.5 kilos. Super easy opener for him, exactly what you expect. Red lights. Platform 1, Satoshi Rosenblum, taking a 5 kilo jump to 80 kilos. Bit slower than his opener, but I think that looked really good for a second attempt. That's kind of what you want from a second. You want something that's harder than your opener so that you can kind of gauge where you are at, where you could jump for your third attempt. But you don't want something that's way too hard so that it's an all-out grinder. You don't have anything left for your third. You want something kind of having a balance in the middle. Platform 2, David Galeas, 82.5 kilos. No question on elbow depth there. Move great for an opener. 3 white lights. And on platform 1, Santos Sekul missed his opener based on strength. Let's see if he can hit this on his second. Unfortunately, Santo is not having the best day. Hasn't made a lift yet. Honestly, if I were Santo and his coaching staff, I mean, you're not risking bombing out since you've already, unfortunately, bombed out on your squat event. I would honestly consider just not doing a third bench and just coming back, maybe lowering your opener on deadlifts and just try to end off the day strong. Just try to go 3 for 3 in the deadlifts. Reese Hamilton, platform 2, 87.5 kilos in the 59 kilo equipped division. Oh yeah, that moved great. Platform 1, Justin Noller, missed his opening attempt. Seems like he kind of jumped the press command and it messed him up. Hopefully he can get this. Okay, there we go, there we go. I was waiting with bated breath, but Justin Noller is on the board, gets his second attempt at 87.5 kilos. And I say waited with bated breath because, of course, you don't want to bomb out, but you definitely don't want to face bombing out when you're in such a good position. I mean, he didn't have the best squat event, only walked away with his opener, but he is still forecasted in second place with a bit of a spread between him and third. And I did think at the beginning, based on forecasted total, that he could potentially catch up with Michael Simmons. But, I mean, Justin's sitting pretty solidly in second place based on forecasted. If he just continues to make his lifts, he's probably going to end up in that second place podium position at the end of the day, which is nothing to sneeze at a high school national championships. Patrick Devine, platform 1, 90 kilos. Bit more difficult, but it was smooth all the way through. Through red lights, good lift. Platform 2, Jesse Johnson moves 87.5 kilos with ease for his opening attempt. Platform 1, Michael Simmons, our favorite in the 59 kilo class, hasn't made a bench yet, needs to hit this 92.5 kilos. I think it was kind of a similar situation as Justin, interestingly enough, where he kind of jumped the press command, tried to go back down. Hopefully he can hit this. Oh yeah, that looked good. There we go, 3 red lights. Michael is on the board, not risking bombing out. And I like that call to just repeat it, especially when you're so far ahead of the class. There's no point in trying to increase weight, trying to, you know, say to yourself, oh, but I wanted this number on my 3rd attempt, and then you get kind of greedy. No, I like that call to just repeat that, both from Michael and Justin. Platform 2, that was a good lift from John Silvera. Platform 1, Benjamin Clark in that 53 kilo class. 70 kilos on the bar. Missed his opener, opted to go up anyways. It paid off, and now he's opting to jump up another 5 kilos. Platform 2, Cade Koplinski has an easy opener with 110 kilos, 3 white lights. Platform 1, that is unfortunately going to be a no lift from Benjamin, but he's on the board. He got that 2nd attempt bench press, thankfully so. As long as he makes an opener deadlift, or at least one deadlift, he's going to be the champion. Platform 2, Jonathan Besseril, returning sub-junior 53 kilo world champion in the 59 kilo class now, opening up with 112.5 kilos. Forecasted ahead in the 59 kilo equipped division. Still has to make his lifts, otherwise that could open the door to lifters like John Silvera to take his spot. But Jonathan, he should know how to execute. He's been on the highest of stages. And he does so far, 3 wet lights on his opener. Cole Curtis, platform 1, trying to go 3 for 3 in the bench after not being able to hit a squat. Hopefully he can get this, 72.5 kilos. Just not there today. He does walk away 2 for 3 in the bench. Hopefully he comes out to deadlift as well. He has the option not to, but hopefully he comes out to deadlift, just trying to redeem the day, end it on a high note. And I'm glad he came out to bench as well. Just see what you could do. Probably skipping. Platform 2, Bryce Topes, 117.5 kilos. Had a really great squat event. 3 white lights for Bryce. One of those lifters in the hunt for a podium position in the 59 kilo equipped class. And on platform 1, Santo's bench is loaded. The bar is loaded, but I don't think he's going to come out. I think he's timing out. And I like that call. That's kind of what I said, where if you know that this bench isn't going to be there on the day, just leave it there. Just come back for deadlifts. Try to end the day on a high note. Maybe lower your opener. Just try to go 3 for 3 in deads. Yeah, Santo, I don't believe is coming out. Platform 2, Giovanni Macanelli taking a 5 kilo jump to 60 kilos. We actually missed his opening attempt, so not sure how it moved. All right, and his second attempt moved well. 3 white lights. On platform 1, moving on to Dylan Tran, taking a, 10 kilo jump to his final bench press at 82.5 kilos. Let's see how he handles this. Unfortunately, that's the risk that you take with making a big jump, especially in the bench. 10 kilos is a relatively big jump, but he does walk away 2 for 3. Brandon Manthe taking a 5 kilo jump to 70 kilos on platform 2. Carson Ramirez on platform 1 missed his second attempt, opted to go up 10 kilos anyways. See how he handles this. Unfortunately, it's going to be a no lift for Carson. Only going to walk away with his opener. Platform 2, bit of technical issues perhaps. On platform 1, that was a good lift for Satoshi with his final bench press at 82.5 kilos. All right, platform 2, we're going to have George Cunningham coming out to 80 kilos for his second attempt. On platform 2, we are in the equipped 59 kilo division, whereas on platform 1, we are in the raw 59 kilo division where Justin Noller missed his opener, opted to just retake it. Really like that call. Just get on the board, which he did. Now taking a 5 kilo jump to 92.5 kilos. Oh yeah, George handles that 7.5 kilo jump well. Come on, Justin, fight through that. Wow, really good grind from Justin Noller there. 2-1. That's going to be a no lift for Justin. He got 2 yellow cards there, so that could have been for his butt lifting on the bench. I believe they are approaching the jury to try to overturn it because he did get 1 white light. Keep you updated on that, but on platform 2, David Galeas taking a 7.5 kilo jump to 90 kilos. David having a really great day so far, going 3 for 3 in the squats. Yeah, if you're following along on Lifting Cast, it's really interesting to see how the equipped flight A on platform 2, not a lot of reds, not a lot of missed lifts, but on the raw flight on platform 1, maybe these lifters are getting just pulled out of position, having more technical issues, like such as depth on squats and whatnot. More missed lifts there. Typically, the opposite is true. Patrick Devine, unfortunately, no lift with 95 kilos. Patrick still forecasted in 3rd place regardless. Bit of a spread between him and Justin, who is forecasted in 2nd. And now Michael Simmons, our favorite in the 59 kilo class, getting set up with 97.5 kilos. Platform 2, Reese Hamilton, taking a 5 kilo jump to 92.5 kilos. Again, really having a great day so far. That's just going to add to it. Hasn't missed a lift yet. Oh yeah, that looked really good from Michael Simmons. And I like that call. Like, maybe he had 2.5 kilos more, but I like the call, especially after a missed opener, having to retake it. I really like the call to just take a relatively conservative 5 kilo jump, add kilos to your total. Don't end up slipping up, especially when you're so ahead, so that maybe one of the other lifters could take your place. Just add kilos to the total. That's exactly what Michael Simmons did. Jesse Johnson, platform 2. 92.5 kilos on the bar for him. It's about 204 pounds. Jesse's got that very, very wide grip there. Probably on the max legal grip that you can have. 3 white lights for him. Platform 1, Daniel Hale, getting us started in flight B with 80 kilos on the bar for him. Really slow descent from Daniel. You'll see that more often with equipped lifters where, kind of similar to the squats, they're fighting against the restrictiveness of the bench shirt. Oh, unfortunately, that's going to be no lift for Daniel on blue cards. Now, I would likely just repeat that. It didn't look the easiest opener. I would likely just repeat that if I were Daniel. John Silvera, platform 2, 102.5 kilos, forecasted second place in the 59 kilo equipped division. Took a big 10 kilo jump there. Handled it relatively well, 3 white lights. And now Brock Harvey, our other competitor in the 53 kilo equipped class on platform 1. Taking 80 kilos for his opening attempt. Really avoided disaster there in the squats by, he was facing bomb out, ended up getting his 145 kilo squat on his 3rd attempt. Now really just needs to make a lift in each discipline in order to fend off Daniel Hale and walk away with the title. And he starts off strong with that 80 kilo opener. 3 white lights, good lift for Brock. Cade Kolpinski, 117.5 kilos on platform 2. Kind of in the hunt to possibly end up on the podium, end up in bronze medal, currently forecasted 4th. No question on elbow depth there. Oh, but it's a fight as he gets towards the top. Can he lock it out? He locks it out. Want to wait to see what the judges say on up and down motion. Yeah, unfortunately, that's going to be a no lift for Cade on platform 2. And it's unfortunate because he did jump those 7.5 kilos, and it was a bit of work. I would just repeat that if I were him. Try to get those extra 7.5 kilos. Try to really make your campaign to end up on the podium. Platform 1, Isaac Sandoval, 82.5 kilos for his opening attempt. Looks pretty smooth. Jonathan Besseril, our favorite in the 59 kilo equipped class, returning sub-junior world champion. Trying to make his campaign to return to the World Championships, jumping up to 120 kilos for his 2nd attempt. Wow, bit sticky at the top, but he fights through it. And that really is typically what you see more in equipped lifting, where it's super fast off the chest. That's where the bench shirt is giving the most extra help. And then at the top, it kind of lets up, and the lifters have to really fight through that end sticking point. Yeah, I mean, Jonathan's still building into the class. He's got a lot of room to grow into it. Frank Garcia, platform 1. Bit of work for an opener with 85 kilos, but he locks it out, gets 3 white lights. Bryce Topes, platform 2, 122.5 kilos. Another one of our lifters, it's like Bryce, Cade, perhaps Jesse Johnson in the hunt to end up on the podium in the 59 kilo equipped class. They are likely too far behind Jonathan and John Silvera, but still could end up on the podium. Nothing to sneeze at the national championships. Unfortunately for Bryce, it just looked like it was a little too much today. Probably going to repeat that. Maybe get it on his 3rd attempt. Could have been an issue with a technical issue with the bench shirt. Platform 1, Joseph Flora, opening up with 97.5 kilos. It's a lot of work for an opening attempt. He locks it out, waiting to see what the judges say. Unfortunately, that really puts Joseph in a sticky situation. Missing your opener, and especially when it was that difficult, obviously I would just repeat it. Just try to get on the board there. Hopefully he can do that on his 2nd attempt. Platform 2, we are into 3rd attempts for flight A. Giovanni McAnelli, 5 kilo jump to 65 kilos. Platform 1, Eldridge Peabody, 100 kilos for his opening attempt. Had a really great day in the squats, ending up in 197.5. Giovanni fights through, 65 kilos, Eldridge locks out 100 kilos, 3 white lights on 2, 3 white lights on 1. Good lift. Platform 1, Matthew Twist, 102.5 kilos on the bar for him. Matthew Twist has got that relatively closer grip, really long range of motion there. No problem with his opener, 102.5 kilos. Platform 2, Brandon Manthe, repeating 70 kilos for his third attempt. His second attempt was just a miss. I think it was just on strength. Hopefully he can get this fight through. Really putting in a fight there, but it's not going to go. Brandon walks away with just his opener with 65 kilos. Esteban Mallory opens up with 105 kilos on platform 1. Through white lights, good lift. Esteban really going to be in a tough battle here for podium position between him and Matthew Twist, and also perhaps Tyler DeHoff, who's going to be up next with 105 kilos. Platform 2, George Cunningham taking a 5 kilo jump to his final bench press at 85 kilos. We are in the 59 kilo equipped division. George having a great day so far, hoping to continue that here. And I think he does. That looks really clean. 3 white lights, good lift. Platform 1, Tyler DeHoff, again in the hunt for potentially a podium position, and he makes his opener move with 105 kilos. David Galeas really having to put in the fight here on platform 2. Wow, that was a really good bench grind with 95 kilos. 2-to-1, that's a no lift. I didn't see any up and down motion. Honestly, if I were his coach, I would definitely approach the jury on that. I mean, it was close, and of course, I'm not in the referee's position where they can see the lifts up close, so perhaps there was up and down motion. But it's definitely a conversation to have with the jury. Daniel Harris on platform 1, making his campaign to return as the reigning sub-junior world champion. Hits 137.5 kilos for his opening attempt. 3 white lights, it's a good lift. It was a little bit sticky, honestly, for an opening attempt. He didn't have the best squat day. He tried to break his own world record unofficially with 240 and 242.5 kilos. Didn't miss it on strength, but just missed it on depth. With that, I would honestly only take just a 2.5 or 5 kilo jump. Still a very phenomenal bench press. I mean, that is by far the best bench on the day in the raw 66 kilo class, opening up with just over 300 pounds there. Platform 1, Daniel Hale, 82.5 kilos on the bar for him. Missed his opening attempt. Went up 2.5 kilos anyways. We'll see how he handles this. And on platform 2, Jesse Johnson getting set up with 97.5 kilos. Trying to go 6 for 6 on the day. Crowd really going to be behind Daniel. Has that slow descent, trying to find the chest. Oh, and he locks out 82.5 kilos. Should be good. Oh, unfortunately, that is no lift for Daniel Hale. Got yellow cards. I believe that might have been for jumping the rack command potentially, or potentially the butt lifting up, something that you cannot really tell from the front. Hopefully he gets that on his third attempt, because now he's really in a tough position facing bombing out of the meet. Platform 1, Brock Harvey in the 53 kilo equipped class. Avoided disaster in the squats, just needs to continue to make lifts, and he's going to walk away the champion. John Silvera, platform 2, getting set up with 110 kilos, sitting pretty solidly in forecasted second place, but still needs to continue to make his lifts. Platform 1, Brock fights it out with 85 kilos. Through it, lats, it's a good lift. Platform 2, John. Is he going to fight through with 110? Wow, that was a really good call from the coaching staff there. 2 to 1, it's a good lift. 6 for 6 on the day. John Silvera really, really having a good day thus far, hoping to continue that into the deadlifts. Platform 1, Frank Garcia taking the minimum 2.5 kilo jump to 87.5 kilos. Has that closer grip, long range of motion there with those long arms. Fights through with that second attempt. Cade Koplinski on platform 2. That was a good lift on 1. Cade Koplinski missed his second attempt, trying to get that on his third. Can he lock it out? I think he can. Need to wait to see what the judges say, if the butt lifted or anything of the sort. 2 to 1, it's a good lift for Cade. Picks up those extra 7.5 kilos that he would have been missing had he missed that attempt. Now that really does put him back in the hunt for potentially taking that third place position away from Bryce Topes, who currently sits in forecasted third place. But that forecasted includes this 122.5 kilo bench. Needs these extra 5 kilos to kind of fend off Cade. Platform 1, Isaac Sandoval, 87.5 kilos. Smooth all the way through, a bit hard. I would expect them only to jump 2.5 kilos there. Come on, Bryce, fight through it. Yeah, that looked clean. See what the judges say. 3 white lats, it's a good lift for Bryce. Picks up those extra 5 kilos. Platform 1, Joseph Flora missed his opening attempt with 97.5 kilos. And it was a bit of work, if I remember correctly. He got yellow cards on his opener, so I believe he just missed it on strength. Hopefully, or no, I think he locked it out but got some sort of technical issue. Yeah, and it was very difficult. That looked better than his opener. Should be a good lift. 3 white lights, big sigh of relief for Joseph. He is on the board, not going to risk bombing out. Jonathan Besseril, previous sub-junior world champion in the 53 kilo class, moving up to 59s, trying to make his campaign to return to the world championships here. 125 kilos for his third attempt. Yeah, that looked really, really solid for a third attempt. 3 white lights, that's a good lift for Jonathan. He is 6, oh no, excuse me, he missed his last squat. He's 5 for 6 on the day. Gonna try to go 3 for 3 in deadlifts, end off the day strong. Platform 1, Eldridge Peabody, only jumped 2.5 kilos. 3 white lights, good lift. And on platform 2 now, we are going to roll straight into flight B with Gavin Patton, 80 kilos, is going to start us off. Platform 1, Matthew Twist, taking a 7.5 kilo jump to 110. Again, he is really in the hunt there to fight for podium position in the 66 kilo raw division. Needs these extra 7.5 kilos. Platform 2, that's a good lift from Gavin. Got 1 yellow card. Not exactly sure what it is for, but he's on the board. Bit of a fight there on 1 from Matthew. Still gets 3 right lights. Good lift. $80 kilos is going to stay on the bar for Dave DiMatteo. DiMatteo? Sorry, I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce it. 80 kilos for his opening attempt. Trying to build on the momentum he got from making all 3 squats. Oh, and it's a bit of work for an opener. Fast off the chest, but has to fight through that sticking point. 2 to 1, that's a good lift. Platform 1, Esteban really having to put in work with his second attempt. Now that's not exactly what you expect. Your second attempt, I mean, it is missed more often than your openers, of course, because your opener should be just you getting on the board. But it's worrying when you miss a second attempt like that, having to repeat and risk ending off with just your opener. He did take a 10 kilo jump. Perhaps that was a bit too much, a bit too ambitious. Hopefully he can get that on his third. Especially since he is one of those lifters in the hunt for podium in the raw 66 kilo class. Platform 1, speaking of in the hunt, Tyler DeHoff also in the hunt for a podium position, 117.5 kilos. Big jump here, 12.5 kilos. Let's see how he handles this jump. Platform 2, Samuel Richardson getting set up with 90 kilos. He's got foot blocks to help with his leg drive. Some lifters, just with how they're built and how low or how high the bench is, cannot get that proper leg drive. Platform 1, that was a good lift for Tyler, but it was a bit of work. The 12.5 kilo jump, he picks up those 12.5 kilos towards his total, but honestly, I would only jump 2.5, maybe 5 kilos to his third. Daniel Harris going to come out next on platform 1. Only walked away, unfortunately, with his opener on squats. I really like this call here to just jump 2.5 kilos. You could get a little bit greedy and think, hey, I'm going to jump 5 kilos, especially since the national record currently does sit at 142.5 kilos in that class. But I really like this call to just, hey, the opener was a bit sticky. Let's not try to reach kind of like what happened in squats, although he didn't miss it on strength. It was just a depth call. But let's try to build the total, especially since this meet is a qualifier for the Sub-Junior World Championships, but it's not the only qualifier. So Daniel really needs to put up the best total he can here. Yeah, I really think that was a good call to go just the 2.5 minimum. 3 white lights for Daniel, good lift. And like I said, this isn't the only qualifier. There's going to be one other meet, the Powerlifting America Age Nationals in May. So, and the qualification is based off of good lift points. So it really does depend on these lifters who are in the hunt for that national team spot, simply putting up the best total, the best good lift points that they can to get on the team. Oh, and on platform 2, Joshua Thompson, really fast off the chest, but then slows that lockout with his opener. 2 to 1, it's a good lift. He's on the board. Platform 1, Daniel Hale, really facing a tough situation here. Missed 80 kilos, went up anyways by 2.5, missed that as well. And I believe he got 82.5 kilos up, but missed it on some sort of technical issue. He got yellow cards there from the side referees. Could have been the butt lifting off the bench that we cannot see from our point of view. Hopefully he gets this, otherwise he is going to be another bomb out that we see. Crowd's really going to be behind him here. Okay, it looked a lot better. See what the judges say, especially with the butt lifting. 2 to 1, it's a good lift. Daniel Hale has avoided disaster, is on the board. Really great job for him to keep his composure there. and get on the board with that third attempt bench. Jonah Garcia, platform 2, 110 kilos for his opening weight. Jonah Garcia in the 66 kilo equipped division. Oh yeah, that moved very easy for Jonah. That's what you want an opener to look like. Brock Harvey on the platform 1, 87.5 kilos. Brock, really the favorite here in the 53 kilo equipped class. Had a scare in the squats, but was able to get on the board. Trying to go 3 for 3 in the bench, turn around the day. Oh yeah, and I think he's done it. Has he gone 3 for 3? 3 white lights. Brock Harvey goes 3 for 3 after a very shaky start in the squats. And that's exactly what you want. I mean, if you end up starting off your day or even going into bench, you're having a not the best day, you've got to just put it behind you and move forward. Try to build back that positive momentum that you could be missing. Angel Flores, platform 2, locks out 120 kilos for his opening attempt. 3 white lights. Platform 1, Frank Garcia taking a, interestingly enough, he took a 2.5 kilo jump, and then now this is a 5 kilo jump. See how he handles it. Yeah, and it's unfortunately just not going to go. Frank's just going to walk away 2 for 3 in the bench press. Platform 2, Rayshon Manuel, currently forecasted second place in the 66 kilo equipped division, but he does not have a big lead. 2 lifters behind him are forecasted just 2.5 kilos behind. Missing that second and third attempt really left those kilos on the table. Now going to try to turn around the day. 125 on the bar for his opener. Oh, dang. And unfortunately, Rayshon misses his opener in a strange turn of events. Hoping, if that was raw lifting, I would be very, very nervous for him. Big grind on platform 1 from Isaac Sandoval. Really good call there, jumping 5 kilos. 3 white lights. Back to platform 2 with Rayshon. If that was raw lifting, I would be very, very worried for him, and I still am. But with equipped lifting, especially with the technicality of the bench shirt, that could have been just a mishap. And I've seen miracles happen. Hopefully he can get that on his second and stay on the board, because he really is in strong contention for a podium finish in the class. Platform 2, Brett Falco, 127.5 kilos. Yep, and that moved well. Super fast with the chest. Just had to put a tiny, tiny bit of work at lockout, but that moved well. Joseph Flora, platform 1, avoided disaster by repeating his opener. Now taking the 5 kilo jump to 102.5 kilos. Yeah, his elbows flare, really has to put in work. I don't think it's going to go. He is still on the board with his second attempt bench. Going to try to move forward to go 3 for 3 in the deadlift. Thomas Weigel, platform 2, opening up with 135 kilos. Just under 300 pounds here for his opening attempt. If you remember, these kids are in high school, they're teenagers. And I spoke too soon because unfortunately that is a no lift for Thomas. Similar story to Rayshon. Hopefully that was just kind of a misgroove there with this bench shirt. Hopefully he can get that on the second. Platform 1, Eldridge Peabody, 105 kilos. Looked pretty solid. I mean, he only took the minimum 2.5 kilo jumps, but hey, he went 3 for 3. And he hasn't missed a lift yet. That was great for him. Looked like he got all that he could on the day, which is exactly what you want. Nathan Lovemore, our favorite in the equipped 66 kilo class, 157.5. And it's really a bit of work for an opener, but he gets it up. 3 white lights, that's a good lift. And yeah, it's a bit worrying when an opener moves like that. But I mean, he's forecasted well ahead in the 66 kilo equipped division. I think as long as he makes at least one deadlift, then he should walk away with the title. Esteban Mallory, unfortunately, misses 115 kilos again, really kind of setting him back. I mean, that was 10 kilos that he left on the table there by jumping to 115 kilos. It's really going to be a tight battle between Esteban Mallory, who just went, Matthew Twist, who is about to go on one, and Tyler DeHoff. They're really going to be jockeying around for that podium position. And Daniel Harris, of course, the returning world champion, is in the lead by far. Gavin Patton, platform 2. We're back to the top of the order. 85 kilos for his second attempt. Bit of a delayed start come in there. He had to lock his elbows out, as you just saw him do. Yeah, that moved well. Oh, unfortunately on one, that is going to be a no lift for Matthew Twist. And that's the dicey thing when you take these 7.5 kilo jumps. Doesn't seem like much, but in the bench press, that could be make and break. I mean, the breaks come on very quickly in the bench press. And now Matthew leaving some kilos on the table. Let's see if Tyler can turn that around, kind of take back those kilos that Matthew missed. If you're Tyler's coaches or even Tyler himself, you're saying, hey, these other lifters, my direct competitors, are missing their lifts. Let me go out and go 3 for 3 in the bench. Add those extra kilos that could fend them off at the end of the day. But first on platform 2, Dave DiMatteo, 85 kilos on the bar for his second attempt. Bit of work at the top, he fights through it. Tyler DeHoff, unfortunately, it's gonna be too much for him. And all 3 of those competitors in the hunt for podium, having missed their third attempts, really tight there. I mean, based on forecasted total, there's just a 5 kilo spread between Matthew in forecasted second and Tyler in forecasted fourth. And of course, these lifters are going to have the option to potentially change their opening deadlift, which you have one change to do. And then those changes are really gonna come in play on their third attempts, where you can have 2 attempt changes and jockey around for positioning. Platform 2, Samuel Richardson, taking the minimum 2.5 kilo jump to 92.5 kilos. Only walked away with his opener on squat, trying to go 3 for 3 in the bench. Platform 1, we are going to have a national record attempt with Daniel Harris. Currently, the national standard sits at 142.5 kilos. He is going to attempt at 143 kilos. Huge bench press here from the 66 kilo. I mean, he weighs what, like 146, 145 pounds, and he's pressing 143 kilos. This is that big milestone 315-pound bench. This is over 2 times his body weight. Can Daniel lock it out? Oh, it's a big fight from him. Unfortunately, that's going to be a no lift for Daniel Harris. Still walks away with 140 kilos. I mean, they only jumped 3 kilos. The chip was there. You take that extra 0.5 kilos. Not a big deal there. Still walks away 2 for 3. And still forecasted well ahead in the class. And on platform 1, that is actually going to be the end of the action in the bench press. Don't go away, because in just 10 minutes, we're going to be back with all of the action in the deadlifts. And like many people say, the bar doesn't start. The meet doesn't start until the bar hits the floor. The deadlifts are really, for a lot of people, the most fun event, where positioning is decided, totals are set. These lifters really going to show their heart as they come out for their last lift of the day. Stick around. We'll see you in 10 on platform 1. Excuse me, I hit the wrong. We'll see you in 10 on platform 1. And on platform 1, welcome back to the action at 2024 Powerlifting America High School Nationals. We're going to get started in just a minute here, underway with the deadlifts. This is where the fun begins. This is where placings are decided, totals are set. You see these lifters, I mean, it's the last event of the day. You're not saving energy for anything. You're really putting your heart on the platform here as a high school lifter at a national championship level. Gonna get started in just a minute here with Carson Ramirez. On platform 2, Joshua Thompson, 107.5 kilos. He is going to repeat that for his third and final attempt. He missed his second attempt. Not exactly sure what it was for. He got yellow cards, so I believe it could have been for a strength failure, or seemingly a strength failure. Oh yeah, that moved well for Joshua. Maybe just had some sort of mishap on his second attempt. 3 white lights. Platform 1, Carson Ramirez got us started with 132.5. I imagine that's a good lift. Didn't see anything wrong with there. Platform 1 just having a little bit of technical issues. Platform 2, Jonah Garcia, trying to add 5 kilos to his total with 120 kilos. Moved fairly well. 3 white lights. Yeah, platform 1 just having a, not sure what's going on there, a bit of technical issues. Now Rayshon on platform 2 has his back against the wall, missed his first 2 bench attempts at 125, seemingly on strength, currently forecasted in 3rd place, really close to 2nd, but he needs this lift to stay in the competition. And if he makes this, he's really in the hunt for a podium position, but he needs this lift. Crowd's really gonna get behind him there. Hopefully he can make the proper changes. Let's see it, Rayshon. Oh, and I thought he was going to be able to fight through it. Unfortunately, Rayshon does bomb out of the competition. Really heartbreaking to see. He can still come back and hit some deadlifts, try to go 3 for 3, turn the day around. But yeah, unfortunately, Rayshon's not going to be in contention for placing, and he is going to bomb out. Hopefully Thomas can kind of change that trend, not take inspiration from Rayshon. Thomas also faced in the exact same situation, missed 135 twice, seemingly on strength. Gonna really be trying here to make the technical corrections to get this on his 3rd attempt. Platform 1 still working working through a bit of either technical issues or just some sort of issue to work through. Unfortunately, Thomas Weigel suffers the same fate, and he unfortunately is going to bomb out of the competition in the 66 kilo equip class. Will not be able to post up a total or compete for placing, but he can still come out for deadlifts. He's got a sizable deadlift opener there. I mean, actually the biggest of the group within the 66 kilo equip class. So hopefully he comes out and we see those big deadlifts from him. Platform 2, Angel Flores, now really in a good position here for Angel. Currently projected in second place after Rayshon unfortunately bombed out. That looked like a solid third attempt there. 3 white lights for Angel. While his competitors are missing, Angel is hitting, only having missed his opening squat. And on platform 1, that was a good lift for Cole Curtis. Platform 1, Satoshi Rosenblum hit a smooth opener with 135 kilos. Yeah, I think there's just a bit of technical issues going on 1 where they're having to manually do it. Wow, that was a really, really good catch there on 2 from the spotters and loaders. Thank you for catching that. That was a no lift for Brett Falco. Platform 1, Santo. That was a good lift for him. Yeah, we're definitely dealing with some technical issues with lifting cast there on 1. Gonna really try to keep you guys updated to see whether they hit a good lift or a no lift. And on platform 2, Nathan Lovemore missed his second attempt at 165 kilos. Gonna try to correct that. This is also, I believe, a national record in the equipped 66 kilo class. No lift for Nathan. He is still very, very well ahead in the class. Has a big spread on second place. Should be walking away the champion as long as he hits his opener. Platform 1, Benjamin Clark in the raw 53 kilo division. Oh, unfortunately that's going to be a no lift for him with 155 kilos. And that is kind of crucial there. I mean, Benjamin, with Cole Curtis, his competitor, bombing out in the squats, Benjamin literally just needs to hit 1 deadlift to be enabled to become the national champion in the raw 53 kilo class. Hopefully he can come back and hit that on his second attempt. The thing is with these attempts, you cannot go back down in weight. Okay, once you put in your opener, once you try to attempt it, you cannot go back down in weight. So maybe Benjamin has 5 kilos less, 10 kilos less than that, but he is going to have to repeat 155. Seemed like just an issue at lockout. Hopefully he can correct that. Dave DiMatteo getting a relift on 2 with 92.5 kilos. Fortunately, I don't think that's going to go. On platform 1, Patrick Devine. That should have been, yep, that was a good lift for him with 165 kilos. And on platform 2, that is going to wrap up our action in the bench press event. Don't go anywhere. Stick around. We are going to take a short 10-minute break before coming back for really where the action begins in the deadlifts, where people are jockeying around for positioning, placings are decided. It's the end of the day for these lifters. They're going to show their heart on the platform. It's going to be a fun watch. See you in 10. Make sure to stick around for that. And on platform 1, Dylan Tran, 175 kilos for his opening attempt. Wow, I looked away for literally 1 second and he already got it up. That should be a good lift. Again, we are dealing with those technical issues, but that is a good lift for Dylan Tran. Justin Noller coming out to 182.5 kilos. Now, Justin, based on forecasted total at the beginning, was kind of sitting pretty solidly in second place. Now, he's in a bit of a fight for that second place position between him and Patrick Devine. Justin is still ahead, but he's going to have to make his lifts. Moved fairly well. 2.5 for Justin. Should be a good lift. Yep, that was a good lift for Justin Noller. Now, Patrick Devine with his second attempt. Patrick Devine currently sits at a 425 kilo total, while Justin Noller currently sits at 437.5. After Michael makes his opening attempt, they're going to be sitting in second place for Justin, third place for Patrick. Patrick actually has put in a second attempt that is going to pull him into second place over Patrick. But then, of course, Justin's going to be able to respond right after with his second attempt. Really going to be fun here watching them go tit for tat in the deadlifts, trying to fight for who's going to end up with the silver medal. But now, Michael Simmons, 197.5. Super, super easy attempt for him. That secures a 475 kilo total. Pretty much solidifies the national championship for him. But of course, he should continue to make his attempts. Make sure Justin or Patrick does not end up catching up to him. And that was a good lift for Michael. And for Carson Ramirez on platform 1, that was I believe it was a good second attempt. Yep, that was a good lift. If you're wanting to keep up, follow along on Lifting Cast, or follow along with the score sheet, that's going to be on liftingcast.com. You search for 2024 High School National Championship, then you can kind of keep up with the action there. Satoshi Rosenblum, 145 kilos for a second attempt. Hasn't missed a lift yet. Going to try to continue that positive trend. And I think he does. That looked good to me. Yeah, really dealing with some issues with lifting cast right now. That should be a good lift for Satoshi. Just waiting on confirmation. Yep, that was a good lift. Cole Curtis coming up next with 150 kilos. And Cole has a bit of a sticky lockout situation there. Gonna wait just a second to see if that was a good lift or no lift. Oh, unfortunately that was a no lift. Now we're not gonna be able to get the color cards because of the issue with lifting cast, but I believe it probably was for soft lockout at the top. Now he is not gonna be able to post up a total, but hopefully he can come back and hit that on his third attempt to end off the day strong. Benjamin Clark coming out next. If you remember, Benjamin missed his opening attempt. Seemed to be just an issue at lockout and perhaps his grip giving out at the end. Benjamin needs this lift. I mean, since Cole has unfortunately bombed out, Benjamin is only going to need one deadlift to become the national champion. It's really all or nothing here for Benjamin, especially since his opener, since he missed his opener and it seemed like an issue at lockout or on grip. Hopefully he can get this. All right, Benjamin, that should look like a good lift. Yep, I think that was a good lift. Gonna wait for confirmation on lifting cast. Yep, that was a good lift for Benjamin. He avoids disaster in the deadlift. And honestly, it moved well. I think he just had a mishap at the lockout on his opener. But he secures that national championship, avoids the disastrous bomb out there. Way to keep his composure. Santo Sakul. Unfortunately, another one of our lifters who ended up bombing out of the meet, not going to be able to post a total, but I'm really, really glad he came out to still deadlift. Going to be trying to turn around the day, go 3 for 3 in the deadlifts. Let's see 160 from Santo. should be a good lift. Bit of a tough time at lockout there for Santo. And wait to see for our lifting cast. Yep, that was a good lift for Santo. I would imagine them just taking either a small jump from there or kind of saying, hey, we've got nothing to lose. Let's just go for it. Patrick Devine is going to be up next, 177.5 kilos. Now, Patrick in the hunt for a second place position in the 59 kilo raw division, sitting pretty comfortably in third place at the moment, but he's going to want to try to trade his bronze medal for Justin's silver. And right now, currently he is pulling into the silver medal position. He does have body weight advantage on Justin, so he weighs marginally lighter. So he is pulling to tie Justin's current total right now. Yeah, and that moved very, very well for Patrick. Pulling into that silver medal position for the time being. Yep, that was a good lift. But in just a couple of lifters, Justin Noller is going to be looking to take back that silver medal. But first, Dylan Tran going to be up next, taking a 10 kilo jump to 185 kilos. Looked pretty solid for a second attempt from Dylan Tran. I believe I heard that that is a good lift for Dylan. Now, Justin Noller currently sitting at the exact same total that Patrick has, but Patrick weighs marginally lighter, so Justin attempting to pull back into second place position, give him a 10 kilo spread on Patrick. Let's see him hit this 192.5 kilos. All right, that should be a good lift for Justin. A little bit tough at the bottom of the lift, but move kind of like a second that it should. You know, a bit harder than your opener, not too hard. It wasn't an all-out grinder. He's got room left in the tank, and he's going to need it. I mean, Patrick is really coming in hot, going to be trying to take his silver medal. Justin will have the deadlift advantage, so he's going to pull after Patrick, going to be able to load what he needs to pull back into silver medal. But first, Michael Simmons, 210 kilos on the bar for him for his second attempt. I mean, he's well ahead in the class here. And on platform 2, we are back to the action on the deadlifts. Welcome back to 2024 Powerlifting America High School Nationals here in beautiful New Orleans, Louisiana. We are going to get started in just a few seconds. Back to the action into the deadlifts, where placings are decided. There's jockeying around for position. These lifters are finishing their day, leaving their heart on the platform. Really exciting stuff here. On platform 1, that was a great lift for Michael Simmons, really running away in the class, whereas at the beginning of the day, we kind of thought that it could be close between him and Justin, but Michael seems to have opened up relatively light, at least in the squat and the deadlift, and making some bigger jumps, putting him into the lead. Platform 2, we're going to get started. Giovanni Macanelli has a very easy attempt with 25 kilos. He did also take a 25. He gets one red card. I'm not sure what that's for. He did only take 25 kilos in the squat as well. So I wonder if he could be dealing with a little bit of an injury there, but still wanted to come out to compete at nationals, get that experience, especially in the bench press where he went 3 for 3. On platform 1, Carson Ramirez just had a good lift with 145 kilos. Ending off the day very well. I mean, 3 for 3 in deadlifts to end off the day, ending off with a 350 kilo total. Platform 1, Cole Curtis actually missed his second attempt. It was tough at the lockout. had the strength after the jump, 12.5 kilos anyways. See what happens here. Can he fight through? Unfortunately, that's going to be no lift for Cole Curtis. George Cunningham, platform 2, hits an easy opener with 132.5 kilos. 3 right lights. Santos Sakul jumping up just the minimum, 2.5 kilos. I think this was the right call. His second was a bit of work, looked a little bit more like a third, but he's trying to end off the day strong here after having not the best day in squat and bench. Glad he came out for the deadlifts. Oh yeah, and he's still fighting with it. It's just not gonna go. 160 was what he had on the day. Really glad he came out to deadlifts, ended the day 2 for 3 in deadlifts, and ending off with all that he could do on the day since he did just take that 2.5 minimum jump. Platform 2, Reese Hamilton in the Equip 59 class, 155 kilos for his opening weight. Three red lights, good lift for Reese, starting off strong. Satoshi Rosenblum taking a 20 kilo jump. This is actually going to be a pull for 4th place. Right now he's in 5th, has that locked up. Gonna try to pull into 4th place. Wow, and he fights through that. A little bit of delay with the down command. Not sure if that's a good lift. Waiting to see what they say on lifting cast. Dang, unfortunately that's gonna be a no lift for Satoshi. I mean, it looked good to me. Perhaps that was because a soft lockout at the top, but that's really tough for Satoshi. I mean, that was a pull from 5th place into 4th. I mean, that was Satoshi's only missed lift of the day. Still ended off 8 for 9 and in 5th place at high school nationals. Brandon Manthey on platform 2, getting started with 160 kilos for his opener. And Benjamin Clark, platform 1, already your national champion, given that Cole Curtis did not post a total. Benjamin really avoided disaster there by getting his 2nd attempt. Now kind of making a, what you call a YOLO pull. I mean, he already has the title locked up. There's nothing to lose here. Give it your best. Make that 12.5 kilo jump to 167.5. Perhaps he can get this. Let's see it from Benjamin. Wow, and he's still fighting with it. Just gave out a lockout. Emotions are high there. I mean, it is really tough to miss your final lift of the day. But Benjamin Clark does walk away your 53 kilo raw varsity high school national champion. Not a bad day. I mean, really not a bad day. Doesn't end off the best with that missed lift, but still walking away the champion. I'd be happy with that. And on platform 2, Bryce Topes, 165 kilos for his opening attempt. He's currently projected in 3rd place. Not too far behind him is Cade. See how he moves this. I think he jumped the down command. I think what happened is he got to the top, just kind of lost that balance there. That can happen a little more often with sumo. And that's kind of tough because he was going to be sitting in that 3rd place position. I would just repeat that if I were Bryce. And on platform 1, the battle unfolds for 2nd. Patrick Devine, 195 kilos. This is going to give him a 455 kilo total, making a big jump here, pulling it to silver over Justin. And it's moving for Patrick. Is he locked out? And he drops it. Oh my gosh. And that is really a tough situation there where you're trying to push the silver medalist to his extent. But if you miss, that was it. That was Patrick pulling it to 2nd. Now Justin's going to end off in 2nd. Patrick Devine ends off in 3rd. Great battle there between the two. Coming down to the last deadlifts. Dylan Tran ending off in 4th place. Gonna try to cross over that 400 kilo barrier. This will give him a 405 kilo total with 195. Oh yeah, that looked like a great 3rd attempt deadlift for Dylan Tran. Yep, that was a good lift. And now Justin Noller going to come out to 200 kilos. He is already your silver medalist in the 59 kilo raw division, given that Patrick missed pulling into the position. It actually was interesting because Patrick did not need that much to pull into position. He was trying to force Justin to pull more, and it's kind of tough when you're the first deadlifter. You don't know what the stronger deadlifter is going to be able to pull, but Justin, your silver medalist, trying for the big 200 kilos. Can he lock it out? What a fight for Justin Noller to end off the day strong after a shaky squat and bench event. See if that's a good, yep, that is a good lift for Justin Noller. He crosses over that big milestone of 200 kilos in the 59 kilo class, hits that big 455 kilo total that is just over 1,000 pounds. Really great way to end the day for Justin Noller. Platform 2, that was a good lift from our favorite in the class, Jonathan Besseril, in the 59 kilo equip class. John Silvera on platform 2 going to come out to 215 kilos. He looks so locked in right now. He has not missed a lift yet. Really going to try to campaign for a second place position. And if Jonathan Besseril starts to slip up, could potentially be pulling for the win. But all eyes on platform 1 as well, with Michael Simmons, already your national champion in the 59 kilo class. Trying to pull up the highest total he can to get a spot on a national team. Wow, and Michael Simmons, what a performance from him. Only missed one lift on the day. That is a 497.5 kilo total. Michael Simmons, your raw varsity 59 kilo national champion, winning by a big spread there. Way to go, Michael. You're national champion. Yeah, he's super excited for that, as I would be too. I believe that is his first national title. On platform 1, we're going to roll straight into flight B. Platform 2, we are well into flight A, as George Cunningham taking a 12.5 kilo jump to 145 kilos. That was super easy for George for his second attempt. Platform 1, Joseph Flora, a little bit tough at the bottom, but he relatively smooth after he breaks that ground. 140 kilos for his opener. Daniel Hale, platform 1, 142.5 kilos. We're in the equipped 53 kilo class. Platform 2, Reese Hamilton, jumping 5 kilos to 160. Moved like a second attempt should, pretty solid. Daniel Hale on 1 hits his opener with 142.5 kilos. Platform 1, Frank Garcia hits a smooth opener with 142.5 kilos. Bryce Topes in the hunt for a podium position in the equipped 59 kilo division. Missed his opening attempt. Really like this call to repeat it. Just seemed to lost his balance at the top. And that can happen a lot more often with these wide sumo pullers like Bryce. Hits that, he's on the board, 3 white lights. Really glad he repeated that. I think he really tried to like slow down the lift as well. Sometimes when you go a little too fast at the top, you have that bobble like he did on his opener. But yeah, that looked good for Bryce. On platform 1, Brock Harvey. This will put him into the lead in the 53 kilo equipped division. Yeah, that looked good. Looked like a solid opener for him. That's a good lift. Still having the issues with lifting cast, trying to keep you updated here. Platform 2, David Galeas, taking a 10 kilo jump to 167.5. On platform 2, that was a good lift for David. Platform 1, Matthew Twist, going to be opening up with 205 kilos. Matthew, really in the hunt, really in the fight for that podium position in the 66 kilo raw division. Yeah, that looked like a solid opener too for Matthew Twist. Brandon Manthe on platform 2 has a bit of a fight with his second attempt at 172.5 kilos. Bit of a delayed down command, but he gets the lift through at lights. Tyler DeHoff, 207.5 on platform 1. This will give him a 497.5 kilo total. Put him provisionally in 5th, but potentially could pull for 3rd. Bit slow for an opener, but I mean, it is conventional. These lifters can typically grind out a conventional more than a sumo pull. That was a good lift. Oh, excuse me, that was a no lift for Tyler DeHoff. Again, issues with lifting cast, not sure what it was for. I imagine possibly for soft lockout at the top, maybe his shoulders weren't fully back. That really puts him behind, and I would honestly, since it was a bit slow, I would just repeat that on his second attempt. Jesse Johnson, platform 2, 10 kilo jump, 185, moves fairly well. Isaac Sandoval, bit of a fight at the top for his opening attempt, 210 kilos. Lift is good. Platform 2, that was a good lift for Cade. Platform 1, I believe that was a good lift for Esteban Mallory, and it moved fairly well. If you're kind of comparing openers, Esteban's moved fairly well as he is in that kind of battle there for podium position. Platform 2, Jonathan Besserell, returning IPF sub-junior world champion, moving up a weight class, 217.5 on the bar for him. Trying to fend off John Silvera, say, hey, this is my gold medal, you're not gonna take it. There's a bit of a spread between them, but Jonathan has gotta make his lifts in order to not swing the door open for John. The other John, this is Jonathan. Oh, and it's a bit of work there for Jonathan. But it was smooth. Bit of work, though. I wouldn't take a big jump from there. Only 2.5, maybe 5 kilos. But he likely has the national championship locked up, depending what John does. And now Daniel Harris, platform 1. This is really outstanding. This is going to give Daniel Harris a 600 kilo total just on his opening weight. For context, the current IPF sub-junior total world record sits at 608 kilos. I imagine, depending how this goes, oh no! And it's a fight for Daniel Harris. Was that a bit of an ambitious opener, trying to open up to get 600 kilos? John Silvera, platform 2, missed his opener, went up anyways. Good lift for him. Bit dicey going up anyways, but he is in that fight in the 59 kilo equip class. Now for Daniel Harris, that did end up being a good lift, but that was very, very difficult for him. You could get greedy and make a typical jump to your second attempt. Honestly, I would just jump 2.5. It looked fairly hard at the top. Maybe he had some sort of misgroove. He is already your national champion with that 600 kilo total. I mean, that is just 8 kilos under the sub-junior world record, and you are trying to put up the best good lift points you can to get on that national team. And we did have a bit of a development here with that 66 kilo raw division. Tyler DeHoff actually got his opener. If you remember, that was a missed lift. He actually got it overturned to a good lift. So that really does help him keep in the fight for a top 5, potentially top 3 positioning. Daniel Hale, platform 1, 155 kilos for his second attempt deadlift. Wow, big fight there at the top. Not going to be able to lock it out. He's going to try that again on his third attempt. George Cunningham, platform 2, 157.5 kilos. That is a good lift on platform 2 for George Cunningham. Platform 1, Frank Garcia. Second attempt with 155 kilos. Oh, it's a bit of work for Frank. Stands up with it, should be a good lift. Yep, I believe that's a good lift. Platform 1, Joseph Flora, 155 kilos, taking that 15 kilo jump there. Platform 2, Reese Hamilton, 5 kilo jump to his final attempt with 165, trying to go 9 for 9 on the day. Wow, and I think he's done it. Looked fairly good for a third attempt. Yep, 3 white lights. Great lifting there from Reese Hamilton. 9 for 9, 415 kilo total on the day. Platform 2, Bryce Tops, coming out to 172.5 kilos, missed his opener, decided to repeat it, sitting right now in third place, but that third place is very vulnerable from lifters like Cade and Jesse, who are going to be pulling after. Trying to make them add 7.5 kilos to their final deadlift. Can he lock it out? Wow, that was a really, really good call from the coaching staff. That should be good. 3 white lights, good lift for Bryce Tops. That puts him at a 485 kilo total. We're gonna see Cade and Jesse try to pull for that third place position in just a few lifters. And on platform 1, that ended up being a good lift for Brock Harvey. Tyler DeHoff, platform 1. He had the overturned opener. Originally, it was no lift. He got it overturned to good lift, thankfully. And on my end, I thought it was a good lift. It was still a little difficult, so that's why they opted for just a 5 kilo jump. Oh yeah, it's difficult, but it's smooth all the way through. That gives Tyler, crosses him over that 500 kilo barrier. That actually pulled him into third place for the time being. This battle for third place in the 66 kilo class is really tight. Eldridge is kind of ahead right now in second, but some of these lifters could end up making big jumps to take that. And now Matthew Twist going right after Tyler DeHoff on platform 1. Currently, they both sit at a 502.5 kilo total. Matthew Twist is going to be trying to pull for a 512.5 kilo total, going to put him into third place for the time being. Brandon Manthe on platform 2, trying to end off the day strong with a 182.5 kilo deadlift, trying to go 3 for 3. Unfortunately, it's going to be no lift for Brandon. Still ends off 2 for 3 in the deadlifts with a 370 kilo total. Now, Matthew Twist, here we go. Platform 1, currently sitting in 4th place at 502.5 kilos. Tyler DeHoff, who just went, sitting in 3rd place at the exact same total, 502.5 kilos. Matthew trying to add 10 kilos to his total there, pulling into provisional 3rd. It was difficult, but it was smooth all the way through. I imagine him taking a smaller jump, but yeah, that was a good lift. Matthew, for the time being, pulls into 3rd place. Now, Eldridge, only 2.5 kilos ahead of Matthew right now. Eldridge currently sitting at 515, gonna be trying to add 10 kilos to that, really trying to defend his silver medal here in the 66 kilo raw division. On platform 2, Jesse Johnson, taking a 15 kilo jump. This is going to put him into 4th place ahead of Cade. On platform 1, that was a good lift for Eldridge. Platform 2, that was a good lift for Jesse, pulling himself into 4th place for the time being. But wait, Cade Koplinski going to come out next with a 10 kilo jump. Cade currently sitting in 5th place. He's not going to pull for 4th. He is going to pull for 3rd place right here on platform 2. This is a really exciting battle on both platforms for that podium place position. Platform 1, Esteban Mallory. Oh, let's see Cade pulling for that 3rd place position. Look good to me. 3 white lies, and Cade ends off your bronze medal position in the 59 kilo equipped class. And on platform 2, that was a good lift for Esteban Mallory. He himself now, great battles all across the board here. Now Esteban Mallory has pulled himself into 3rd place over Matthew Twist by just 2.5 kilos. Now Esteban does have the bodyweight advantage on Matthew Twist. So currently the standings right now in the 66 kilo raw division is of course Daniel Harris on top. Behind is Eldridge in 2nd place, and then it's super tight for 3rd place between Esteban at 515, Matthew at 512.5, and then even Tyler not too far behind at 502.5. But now all eyes on platform 2 as Jonathan Besseril ends off his day with a 5 kilo jump to 222.5 kilos. Big fight on platform 1 from Isaac. I think that was a good lift for him. Jonathan, unfortunately, that is a no lift, but he is well ahead in the class. I don't think John Silvera, unless he makes an attempt change right now, is going to try to pull for the win. Honestly, for John Silvera, I might try to pull for the win. I mean, you've got nothing to lose. John Silvera is already sitting in 2nd place. No one's going to take that away. Jonathan Besseril currently sits at a 542.5 kilo total with, I think he did make the attempt change. He did. Wow. What an exciting turn of events in the equipped varsity 59 kilo class. Jonathan Besseril seemed to be the favorite all day, currently sitting at a 542.5 kilo total. John Silvera has made the attempt change, trying to jump 20 kilos to pull for the lead, pull for the win here. On platform 1, Daniel Harris made that 5 kilo jump. Can he lock it out? That opener was so hard. Wow, and Daniel Harris locks out 240 kilos. I'm not sure what the judges are going to say based on up-down motion. Yeah, unfortunately, that was a no lift for Daniel. He's going to have to come back and try to hit that on his 3rd. John Silvera, unfortunately enough, that was a no lift on platform 2. But like I said, he literally had nothing to lose. Already in 2nd place. Why not go for the win? You've got nothing to lose. You're on the national stage. Miracles can happen. But John Besseril, the returning IPF sub-junior world champion, moving up to the 59 kilo class, is going to end off the day as your high school national champion in the equipped varsity 59 kilo class. Great execution on the day from Jonathan Besseril, ending off with a 542.5 kilo total. And just looking at the scoreboard, Daniel Harris is going to end up repeating that 240 kilo deadlift. I mean, I honestly did not think he was going to lock it out. He kept with it, so hopefully he can come back, hit that on his 3rd. On platform 2, we're moving straight into flight B. Gavin Patton, 175 kilos for his opener. On platform 1, Daniel Hale in the 53 kilo equipped class. He is solidly in second place, not going to be challenging for first, but trying to end off his day strong. Missed his second, trying to come back, hit this on his third attempt, 155 kilos. It's just at the lockout, can't get his shoulders back. Fortunately, that's going to be a no lift for Daniel Hale. Still ends off in second place in the 53 kilo equipped class. On platform 2, Samuel Richardson, 180 kilos for his opening attempt. And that's a bit of work for an opening attempt. I'm not sure how much left he has in the tank there. Hopefully that's a good lift. That is a good lift, and Samuel Richardson is going to be on the board with his opening attempt. Frank Garcia, platform 1, 160 kilos for his third and final attempt. Unfortunately, that's going to be a no lift for Frank. He still ends the day 2 for 3 in the deadlifts. Ends off with a 372.5 kilo total. Platform 1, Joseph Flora, taking a 7.5 kilo jump to 162.5, trying to end 3 for 3 in the deadlifts. Oh, no lift for Joseph. I think he's okay. He's getting up on his own. He's okay. Ends off 2 for 3, ends off with a 405 kilo total. On platform 2, Thomas Weigel, going to come out to 190 kilos. Unfortunately, not going to be able to register a total. He was not able to get a bench press in, but I think he's still coming out to deadlift. Yep, I think he is. Trying to boost the morale there. Oh, unfortunately, I was wrong. He did not come out to deadlift, and that's an option that some of these lifters take where they say, hey, I'm not going to go out and risk injury. If you already know you're not going to post up a total. Brett Falco coming out to 190 on 2. On 1, Brock Harvey in the 53 kilo equipped class, already your national champion, trying to add the cherry on top with extra 5 kilos. Wow, big fight there from Brock on 1. Is that going to be a good lift? And I believe it is. Waiting to see confirmation. Yep, that is a good lift for Brock Harvey. What a way to turn around from such a shaky start in the squats, nearly bombing out. Didn't miss a lift since then. Brock Harvey is going to be your equipped varsity 53 kilo high school national champion with a 407.5 kilo total. Jonah Garcia, platform 2, 192.5 kilos. And now, platform 1, Tyler DeHoff, jumping 7.5 kilos to 220. This is actually not going to pull him into 4th place. Currently, he sits at 5th place pretty solidly. I mean, his second attempt and his first attempt were kind of sticky. I think they kind of realized that, yeah, you could jump the extra 2.5 to try to pull into 4th place. But if it's kind of a conversation of if it's not there, let's just try to go 3 for 3. Let's see this. Wow, and you know what? He might have had the extra 2.5 kilos. It's a tough conversation with those lifters when you're trying to see what you're capable of today, what placing you could pull for. But Tyler DeHoff's going to end off 5th place in that 66 kilo battle. And yeah, I mean, that's really a tough decision there because Tyler only had to jump an extra 2.5 kilos to pull for 4th place. And based off the third, of course, it's hindsight bias. You're looking back. In the moment, they didn't know how his third attempt was going to move. I mean, that moved low-key a little bit better than his second attempt. So, I mean, he still had a great day. 3 for 3, 510 total. On platform 2, Nathan Lovemore really only needs to hit at least 1 deadlift in order to walk away the national champion. 200 kilos for his opener. Platform 1, Isaac Sandoval only taking a 2.5 kilo jump to 230 kilos. Oh yeah, and that was the right call. It's a really big fight for Isaac. Can he lock it out? No, it's not going to be there. Just a really tough lockout. He does walk away with a 477.5 kilo total and that big 500-pound deadlift. platform 2, Angel Flores, kind of picked up an opportunity here since Rashon Manuel ended up bombing out. Angel kind of slotted for 2nd or 3rd place right now. But it's going to be tight between him, Joshua, and Brett. Platform 1, Eldridge Peabody, currently in 2nd place, trying to extend his lead by 10 kilos, shutting the door on other lifters. That is a good lift for Eldridge Peabody. Really a great performance from Eldridge. 9 for 9 on the day, 535 kilo total. Likely going to be your silver medalist unless Esteban or Matthew to end up taking really big jumps. But yeah, that's the kind of lifting I like to see. Eldridge really executed on the day, got the most that he could on the day. If Eldridge had started missing lifts, getting a little dicey, then that could have really swung open the door for others. Matthew Twist, he tried to pull for, let's see. So Matthew there on platform 1 was trying to pull for 3rd place. And he actually didn't need that much to pull into 3rd place, but it's also, again, that tough situation where you're not the last deadlifter of the day. Esteban is going to pull more. But Matthew Twist ends off in 4th place with a 512.5 kilo total. And yeah, he took a 17.5 kilo jump there. Only needed perhaps 5 kilos to pull into 3rd, but of course Esteban was going to pull after and could have just put on what he wanted to pull into 3rd place. Platform 2, Joshua Thompson, 210 for his opener. Platform 1, Daniel Harris, really having a star performance here, trying to repeat for 240 kilos. Oh, and it's better. Can he lock it out? I think he can. I think that's going to be a good lift for Daniel to end off the day. That is a good lift for Daniel Harris. He is your raw varsity 66 kilo national champion. He comes in the back, his back is cramping, but he left it all on the platform with a 605 kilo total, folks. For reference, the sub-junior total world record sits at 608.5. We are going to find out in about a month and a half, whether Daniel is going to get on that sub-junior national team. Hopefully he can. I can't imagine a world where he doesn't. He's likely going to return to the IPF sub-junior world championships in Malta and make a campaign to defend his title and take that world record total. And on one, excuse me, I missed it, but Esteban Mallory tried to pull 242.5, unfortunately missed it. Still ends the day in 3rd place, and that was a really great battle for the podium in the 66 kilo class. And also we got to see the star performance in Daniel Harris. Really great lifting on platform 1. What time does 2nd start? I don't need it. And on platform 1, that is going to be it for, that's going to wrap up the action for day 2, session 1 of 2024 Powerlifting America High School Nationals. Do not go anywhere. Session 2 is going to start in just a little bit. It's going to start at 12:30 local time, CST. It's going to include some phenomenal varsity female lifters. It's going to go from 43 kilos all the way up to 63 kilos. You're not going to want to miss more of the action. Stick around. We will see you at 12:30. Thank you for joining us today. This has been a great time. My name is Adriana Davis, and I will see you later on.